I was a teenage girl in 1992 when the civil war in Yugoslavia spilled over into my hometown of Mostar. I remember the sounds of bombs and guns, day and night. For days at a time, it was too dangerous to leave the house to go to school or buy food. I remember being so scared and wishing we could leave. I remember IOCC was there, in spite of the danger, helping my family and many others with distributions of food, water, and household items we needed but couldn't get because of the war. My family did leave eventually, and we came to Chicago as refugees. Now I support IOCC as a volunteer, helping host fundraisers so they can continue to help other families like mine who suffer because of war or poverty. IOCC made a difference in my family's life when we needed it most. They gave us hope.
I have supported IOCC from its earliest days, chairing the Metropolitan Committee in San Francisco since 1992. Helping others in need is something I have always believed we should do as a pan-Orthodox community. During my visit to the Balkans 10 years ago to see IOCC's impact, I saw firsthand how a gift from a donor can open up a world of opportunity for families in need. I didn't know what to expect. War ruins were still visible everywhere, but IOCC was helping families move forward with a microcredit program. Entrepreneurs were able to borrow small loans needed to produce goods and services for the local market. One Bosnian farmer we met used a $1,000 loan to grow vegetables. He started with nothing and grew the business to feed his family, to create jobs and fresh produce for the community. It was remarkable to see how the microcredit program changed the lives of this farmer's family and so many others we met along the way.
My family came to America from the Greek island of Lesbos when I was only 6 years old. As I grew up, I realized that America has given my family and me many blessings, and so I wanted to share those blessings with others through my Orthodox faith. Since 1992, when IOCC organized an airlift of food and medicine to the fallen Soviet Union, my friend Natalie Chalice and I have hosted an annual Philoptochos International Coffee Hour at our parish to raise funds and awareness about IOCC. In 2016, I traveled to Athens, where I saw firsthand IOCC at work, easing hunger in Greece among jobless families. Hundreds of people lined up inside a church. There were young mothers and elderly couples, all poor and distressed individuals. I was touched by the way IOCC responded with prepaid grocery cards given to these people to buy food produced by Greek farmers.
In 2002, an idea was born in an Orthodox seminary dorm room that has blossomed into something far bigger than I ever could have imagined. My idea was to support the educational dreams of needy children in Africa. The St. Nectarios Education Fund was created to reach out to any child because knowledge develops the human character in a way few things can. Since 2010, we have partnered with IOCC to build 4 schools in Uganda and open the doors to education and opportunity for thousands of children. We couldn't have found a more willing, professional, and efficient partner to take our vision, understand it, and make it happen. We couldn't have done it without IOCC.
I have such special and irreplaceable memories in Syria. Ever since I could remember, my family and I spent our summers visiting Syria, especially Damascus and Homs, where my parents are from. Sadly, our trips to Syria stopped due to war breakout in 2011. I had felt useless as I watched the people of Syria, who cared so much for me, become forgotten by others just watching them suffer. So, I had come to the conclusion that I was going to help them as much as I could. At the end of our 4-month fundraiser, my school of 250 students, with the help of my father, raised $3,000. My church then happily matched it and sent the money to the IOCC. Through this experience, I remember to give with an open heart and let love guide my life.
As IOCC Frontliners, I and my fellow seminarian Jim Charities were sent in as early responders to help survivors deal with the emotional and spiritual trauma and to help them get back on their feet. Little did I know that when I trained with IOCC for Frontliner deployment only a few short months earlier, that I would need to put that training to work so very soon. We started at a Red Cross tent in Galveston, Texas, sheltering 100 or so people displaced by Hurricane Ike. As we silently walked through the tents, one elderly gentleman approached Jim and said, "Thank you for being here. When we see you here in this difficult place, your presence reminds us that God has not forgotten about us."
I did not want to leave Syria, my homeland, but I had no choice. I had to leave for the sake of my young daughter Bushra. Her future needed to change while we were able to do it. My husband and I had good life in Homs before the war. We had good jobs, a nice home, and our families lived nearby. We had to leave it all behind when the fighting became too intense in our city. We went to Tartus where it was safer. I found a job with IOCC helping other displaced Syrian people like me find safe shelter and access to food, clothing, water, and healthcare. The job gave me purpose. I became a link to their relief and connected with them because I know the pain as I lived it too. The love, the smiles, the tears of joy and sadness we shared with each other were priceless. I learned so many new skills as a relief worker and knew this was the path I wanted to follow. When my husband, daughter, and I resettled in Ottawa, Canada, I went back to school right away. I am now going for my master's degree in conflict resolution and working as an intern for an organization that assists other Syrian refugees in Canada. I long to go back when the war ends and use my new skills to help people heal and rebuild their communities.
25 years ago, visionary Orthodox Christian hierarchs and lay leaders together formed International Orthodox Christian Charities to unite the hands and hearts of Orthodox Christians to share with those in need. You have helped people in more than 50 countries recover after disasters. You have rebuilt after wars. You have created renewed opportunities for fulfilling lives. We give thanks to you as we celebrate the 25th anniversary of IOCC that has been achieved only by God's grace. We invite you to join us in realizing this vision of sharing Christ's love to those in need.